end of this special episode, as we were delving into NCC, your works in operation, I think it will be also very important to give us a detail how we what are we looking into when you talk about the NCC?
Thank you. We are a semi-autonomous body or organization that was formed by an act of Parliament in 2017. But in terms of operations, we became operational in 2021, and we are under the Ministry of Industry and Commerce. Then, with respect to our main mandate, is to provide evidence-based policy advice and recommendations for creating and maintaining an enabling environment that enhances industrial productivity and competitiveness of Zimbabwean goods and services in domestic, regional, and global markets. So in a nutshell, that's who we are. Yes.
Yes, I think you have managed to see our brand quite well. You deal with the local authorities to assess competitiveness. And my first question will be, there is something that you are doing that is called the Rural, Urban and Council Competitiveness Index. What motivated this development key when someone hears Zimbabwe Rural and Urban Council Competitiveness?
Okay, so maybe let me start by highlighting the objectives of RUCCI, Rural and Urban Councils Competitiveness Index. So it seeks to achieve three things. Then the first one is to rank local authorities according to competitiveness performance throughout Zimbabwe. Then secondly is to identify the strength, opportunities and competitiveness gaps within councils to inform strategic decision making at the local and national levels. Then lastly, it serves as a valuable tool to guide policymakers, businesses, investors, and urban planners in decision making. So one of our mandate as a commission is to review the operations of local authorities, and obviously empowered by this provision in our act. It's one of the reasons that motivated us to develop this RUCCI. But let me hasten to say the legal mandate may be there, but if deemed not essential, there is the danger of it becoming redundant. But with this RUCCI, I think it's a step in the right direction for the various reasons that I will elaborate. Firstly, this initiative emanated from His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa's call to action, no compromise to service delivery for local authorities, that was launched in November 2023. So as a quasi-government institution, we are just supporting and complementing the central government's vision and aspirations. And secondly, Zimbabwe is signatory to a number of trade agreements, and of late we signed and ratified the African Continental Free Trade Area. And countries that are going to benefit from those regional integration or regional trade agreements are the ones that are competitive. That's why we are driving this competitive agenda. Competitiveness, it occurs at various levels. And if we talk of competitiveness at the national level without cascading down to lower tiers of government, I am afraid we may not be able to achieve the national competitiveness goals. And that's why we thought of developing this rural and urban councils competitiveness index. And of course, maybe what we are doing is not like we are reinventing the wheel. It's something that is done elsewhere globally. Various indices that measures and assesses local authorities are there, but in Africa we only have Kenya, which launched this inaugural county competitiveness index on 1 November 2025, and we are just following in that direction. But we would have wanted to be the pioneers, having started this project last year with the 9 local authorities.
Basically, the next question, which might be critical, is how does this index align with the Zimbabwe national development goals, such as Vision 2030 and the National Development Strategy also, so such as Vision 2030 again in the National Development Strategy 1, that's the NDS 1, as far as like we are now looking into NDS 2 because we are completing NDS 1.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, as an institution, our programs, they are guided by the national vision and the aspirations, of which some of them is the ones that you have just highlighted. NDS1, which seeks to achieve Vision 2030. And you may be aware that under NDS1, there is emphasis on national competitiveness, strengthening national competitiveness, and obviously there are targets there. There are targets there for national competitiveness, and what we are saying as a commission, the national targets might be there, but if it is not cascaded down to lower tiers of government, those targets may remain a pipe dream. That's why we have moved to develop this RUCCI to ensure that the issues of competitiveness are addressed at the lower level. So we are talking about a bottom-up approach. And let me also highlight that with the agriculture and mining constituting about 90% of export earnings, these operate within councils' jurisdictions, yes, and they are affected by the actions of local authorities. That's why we saw it fit to develop this RUCCI, and also ensure that it dovetails with the NDS1 thematic areas of moving the economy up the value chain for achievement of structural transformation. And also let me highlight that we have sustainable development goals, SDGs, particularly SDG number 11. It talks about making cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient and sustainable. So under RUCCI, we will be assessing maybe how the cities and the settlements are resilient, are promoting issues to do with sustainability. And Zimbabwe, they are implementing SDGs. So what we are doing, it will obviously feed into national development goals. And in terms of Vision 2030, moving to an upper middle income nation by 2030, if you do your research, you find that for countries that managed to move from being lower income to upper middle income, they put emphasis on local authority competitiveness, and that's the direction that we are following.
Yes, quite articulated, like you have managed to bring everything to why we talk about the song of competitiveness important at local government level. Maybe as a concluding question, as we sum up this first special episode 1 of the impact. So my question would be, beyond service delivery, how does council competitiveness directly impact job creation, SME growth, and attracting investment locally?
Thank you very much for that question. Let me start by highlighting that the SMEs, that's a critical constituency in the national economic dynamics. 90% of all businesses in Zimbabwe are SMEs, contributing about 60% of national GDP. And from this RUCCI survey, the SME sector is one constituency that we were particularly interested in, to hear their views on the operations of local authorities, why they are not graduating from being small into large businesses. So those are some of the issues that we were interrogating under this survey, because obviously the operations of local authority have an impact on the SMEs, which may promote or inhibit SME growth and ultimately job creation, and even attracting further investment within that locality. SMEs, they don't exist in a vacuum. They operate within council's jurisdictions, and the actions of local authorities have a bearing on the central government, SMEs, even large businesses. That's why we are saying beyond service delivery, the actions of local authorities even affect the SMEs.
Beautiful. Maybe as we conclude episode 1 of the impact, where we were dealing more on the background, what you do, maybe you can give us maybe 1 or 2 key highlights that you'll be looking maybe into as far as RUCCI is concerned. What are the key indicators that you daily look into as my indicators a RUCCI to test competitiveness within a local authority?
We'll be looking at local government efficiency. And by local government efficiency, we'll be assessing issues to do with the corporate governance of the local authority, their financial management, effectiveness of public service delivery, and also we'll be looking at the economic dynamism of the local authority, which measures the ease of doing business within a local authority, the level of investment, the council's role in facilitating economic activity across both formal and informal sectors. We will be also looking at issues to do with infrastructure, innovativeness of the local authority, and also resilience, how quickly a local authority can recover in the event of unforeseen contingencies or events happening.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. This was the voice of National Competitiveness Development Manager, who is Mr. Douglas Muzimba. So stay tuned. Goodbye as we meet again next week as we discuss more on far as the rural and urban councils competitiveness is concerned. Thank you so much. That's a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
For the news that matters to you.
I think the best thing that we can do as a country is I think all stakeholders need to be involved.
Keeping you informed.
Media diversity is a contested concept. What basically means is that too many voices are being represented.
Global to local.
We now the largest asset registered company on the Victoria Falls Stock Exchange.
You can access the news and information you need on your smart device.
ZiFM podcasts available on any of your podcast platforms of choice.
Yo, I got guns in all of the counties. Round and wide like a bounty. And Paso Brownie shout me, telling me a boyfriend's lousy. Talk the talk. Me, I'm the talk the talk. And I won. Don't live it. You know, that's RD gang. Talk the talk. Me, I'm the talk the talk. Golden girls want you with a pack. And I get love all over the map. Talk the talk. Me, I'm the talk the talk. And I won. Talk the talk. Me, I'm the talk the talk. Design up from my head to my feet. Design up from my chest to her knees. And the all I came from the UK. Got on that's coming from ID. Talk the talk. Me, I'm the talk the talk. Talk the talk. My side talk the talk. Says she want BRB. That's risky business. Can't fuck you locking up our keys. And you know, send a chip on feet. Talk the talk. Me, I'm the talk the talk. And I won. Don't live it. You know, that's RD gang. Talk the talk. Me, I'm the talk the talk. Girls want you to bet. And I get love all over the map. No one sweet on them, Shauna. But she's glad that she gone. I fucked out. Yo, show love to the feds. I'd be sleeping on blue beds. Yo, might see me in town, might see me on telly. So don't bust like Stephen Kenny. Got pretty girls and Dublin toxic. Still love the ones in Brown and white like a bounty. And Paso Brownie shout me, telling me a boyfriend's lousy. You must be from or she wanna go through the bits. I got through the streets, talk the talk. Me, I'm the talk the talk. And I won, don't live it. You know, that's RD gang. Talk the talk. Me, I'm the talk the talk. Girls want you to